morning, and I welcome you all to the 11th day of the 96th Annual Conference of the Music Academy, Madras. Today we will have the prayer sung by Supriya of the 3rd year of the Advanced School of Carnatic Music, and she will be singing an abhang.
माझा भाव तुझे चरणी, माझा भाव तुझे चरणी, तुझे रूप माझे नयनी, माझा भाव तुझे चरणी. सापडलो एकामेका, सापडलो एकामेका, सापडलो एकामेका. जन्मोजन्मी नोहे सुटका, नोहे सुटका. माझा भाव तुझे चरणी, माझा भाव तुझे चरणी, तुझे रूप माझे नयनी, माझा भाव तुझे चरणी. त्वा मोडिली माझे माया, त्वा मोडिली माझे माया, त्वा मोडिली, त्वा मोडिली माझे माया. मी तो जडलो तुझिया पाया, मी तो जडलो तुझिया पाया. माझा भाव तुझे चरणी, तुझे रूप माझे नयनी, माझा भाव तुझे चरणी. त्वामज मोकलिले विदेही, त्वामज मोकलिले विदेही, त्वामज मोकलिले विदेही. मी तुझ घातले हृदयी, घातले हृदयी. माझा भाव तुझे चरणी. नामामणे गा सुजाना, नामामणे गा सुजाना, नामामणे गा सुजाना. नामामणे गा सुजाना, नामामणे, नामा नामामणे, नामामणे गा सुजाना, सुजाना. नामामणे गा सुजाना. सांग कोणे ठकविले कोणा, सांग कोणे ठकविले कोणा. माझा भाव तुझे चरणी, माझा 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 भाव तुझे चरणी, माझा माझा भाव तुझे चरणी, तुझे रूप माझे नयनी, माझा भाव तुझे चरणी, माझा भाव तुझे चरणी.
Thank you. This morning, we are all assembled here to pay tribute to Pandit Bhimsen Joshi, whose centenary is being observed. Presenting it is Pandit Nagaraj Rao Havaldar, with Kedarnath Havaldar on tabla, Sri Krishna on the harmonium. Dr. Nagaraj Rao Havaldar is one of the leading vocalists of Hindustani classical music. Having had extensive training in the tradition of the Kirana Gharana from Pandit Madhava Gudi, himself a prime disciple of the Kirana scion, Bhimsen Joshi. He also had immense training in the tradition of the Jaipur Atroli Gharana from Pandit Panchakshari Swami Mattigatti, a senior disciple of Pandit Mallikarjun Mansoor. He holds the Sangeeta Ratna degree in Hindustani classical music from Karnataka University, Dharwad. A gold medal in MA History and Archaeology, Dr. Havaldar holds a doctorate in music from Kannada University. His doctorate thesis being History of Music in Karnataka and the Legacy of the Maharajas of Mysore towards its growth. From 1988 to 1991, Dr. Havaldar served with the All India Radio as a program executive, and he later quit to pursue his career as a full-time classical musician. He is now one of the most popular names in Hindustani classical music, performing widely in India and in abroad, and has been recognized for his services to the art. It's over to you, sir. You have 90 minutes from now. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Very generous. Huh? Good morning and namaskar, everybody. It's indeed a privilege for me to be presenting this very, very daunting task in front of very, very learned audience over here. When Sri Ramji called me to present the lecture demonstration on Pandit Ji, I was overwhelmed. So I requested him, sir, he lived for 90 years and sang for 75 years. So I'll be extremely grateful if you give me 90 minutes to present some glimpses of his music and personality. So he was very generous enough, and he has allotted extra 5 minutes also, cutting down the introductory minutes. So it's indeed a very daunting task to portray the legends like Bhimsen Ji and very many legends that have been born and brought up here in Chennai. And also, thanks to Google and WhatsApp University nowadays, you click on it, you will get anything and everything. You don't know whether it is substantially correct or otherwise. So, I would like to very politely submit that I have been extremely fortunate enough to have one-to-one interaction with Pandit Ji and his disciple Pandit Madhava Gudi, who spent 27 long years with him in the true Gurukula order. So, their stories will come as the lecture progresses. And I also keep repeating one very famous proverb in English, that is, music starts where speech ends. So that applies to my speech also, but today it has been like shifting gear and course in between. I have to speak a bit, then switch over to music, then come back to speech to narrate few things. So therefore, just to demonstrate a bit of Panditji's Gaiki in a nutshell, I have chosen Rag Bhairav, which is a Maya Malvagala, the equivalent of Carnatic Raga here. I will not go in detail because we can sing one khayal for about 45 minutes or 1 hour. I will not do that. Maybe 10-15 minutes just to portray and highlight some glimpses of his Gaiki. Then from then onwards, I'll unfold the things of his life which will be inspiring to everybody anytime and every time. So Rag Bhairo for you, like less than a truncated T20 match. Sorry. Actually, in football matches, they cut down this time also. They add some extra minutes. That's on the lighter side. This is set to Vilambit Teen Tal, a 16-beat tala, which is played at a slower tempo. more Saya sadarangile sadarangile balamva more saya sadarangile balamva more saya sadarangile more balamva. The next portion we call it as Tan. That was truly a truncated version of a T20 match, but I have a lot more things to share. So, you probably have some basic information about Pandit Bhimsen ji, his upbringing, his guru, and so on and so forth. But I would like to throw light on some aspects which are probably otherwise not available on any of the social media. But for my book, I'm being a little selfish about that, but it's a hard fact, I can't help it. Yeah. Pandit ji, at the age of 11, he fled the house. He went in search of the voice of Ustad Abdul Karim Khan and traveled all over India, went to Kolkata, went to Gwalior. He stayed in Gwalior in Ustad Hafiz Ali Khan Saab's school for a few months because those days the kings of Gwalior would feed a music student free of cost. So those are the days. I think our democracy should take some leaf out of this book. So he stayed there, not that he would get anything to learn, but he would practice and get to listen to some old masters and get one full free meal every day. But his quest for Guru drove him to Punjab. In Harvalabh Sangeet Sammelan, one of the senior musicians, he said, "Arey, beta, you are searching for a guru who is just next door to you." Pandit Sawai Gandharva. Sawai Gandharva was the direct disciple of Abdul Karim Khan. And Bhimsen ji was fascinated by Abdul Karim Khan's HMV discs. He just followed it. So he writes a letter to his father. His father was a great Sanskrit Vidwan and a scholar, a teacher. So he wanted his son to be another scholar, but he had a different idea. So he said, "Look, if you are not going to punish me for flooding the house, part one, and if you are going to put me under the tutelage of Sawai Gandharva, I'll come back home." The father was very desperately waiting for the son to come back. "Please come back, I'll do the needful." So he will take him to Pandit Sawai Gandharva. And as any aspiring parent would do, Gururaj Achar took him to Pandit Sawai Gandharva and introduced him, "Sir, he is my young son Bhimsen, he wants to learn from you. He sings well." Then Sawai Gandharva said, wait. If he sings well, or otherwise, I have to decide that, not you. Those were the very stern gurus. He said, "I respect you, Gururaj Achar, but the decision whether he sings well or otherwise, it is to be made by me, not by you. So I will listen to him." Then he listens to him. There is a quick audition there. He says, okay, fine. Stay here. I'll teach you. So the Gurukula was sanctioned. And the Guru said to the father, sir, you have seen my living condition here. It's no palace by any means. He's going to stay here. He will be doing some household chores for me, but I will teach him unconditionally. I'll sing my heart out for this young boy. He deserves all the talim, all the siksha, all the pathantra, what you say. Then the tutelage begins. So as I told in the beginning, his job was to do some household chores. It's a village called Kundagol near Hubli, close to Dharwad. So in Kundagol, though if you go back by 80 years, there was no public tap and corporation water, nothing of that sort, no infrastructure. So the young Bhimsen's duty was to bring water to the Guru's house. The drinking water has to be brought from a different well, which is in this direction. And the water for washing the clothes and bathing, etc., has to be brought from a different well in this direction, in opposite directions. So let us quickly shift this scenario to present day. If any disciple were to do this, the first thing he will do is he will sue the teacher, domestic violence. And the teacher is behind the bars, and this fellow will go to some nursery rhyme, and that is the end of the whole story. But it's not the case. Bhimsen very politely obeys his guru, but his only complaint about his guru was, I only wish the size of the pot was bigger to bring the water. If the size of the pot was bigger, I'll make less trips to the well, bring more water, and dedicate the same time for learning and my practice. So this is the kind of insight that. Then, while teaching, he was very generous. Savayagandhar was very, very generous. Because there was no strings attached to the teaching, the guru and the shishya. No stigma attached. But he would say, if you are singing a raga, he gave one principle to the student. How you will use the swaras in a raga. I have taken the help of one of my friends to translate that one sentence in Tamil. That's the end of my Tamil. So don't trust me or don't test me any further. So he says, I'll also tell it in English and then I'll demonstrate the singing part of it. How to use this swaras when you are presenting a raga. Isai Shalvam Irandalum, Alapanam Pandum Bodu, Romba Kuraivaga, Swarangalai Shalapu Pandavendum. I hope I have done justice to Tamil also. So he says, if you are singing a raga, use the swaras in such a restrained way, as if a very stingy fellow uses his money. Before taking out the next 10 rupee note, please see whether you can buy a meal, you can buy a dress, you can buy a school bag, everything, then take out the next 10 rupee. Before that, no, don't take out your money. So, exhaust all possible aesthetic combinations of the swaras. Then go to the next note. Of course, you have Maya Malagala, all the 7 notes at your disposal. Don't go to higher Shadja in the next 10 seconds. No, don't do that. So this is one part. So you have to be a stingy fellow while using the swaras. And also he says your music has to be rich. That's a kind of oxymoron. Yeah. Your usage of swaras has to be like a stingy fellow, and your music has to be rich. Sir, how can this happen? So he then, देखो भीमसेन ऐसा होता है, ऐसे गाएंगे. So I'll just demonstrate few phrases, then further. So I am sticking on to Maya Malagala for one simple reason. Uh, that is common to both the schools. And even in Hindustani, we start teaching with Maya Malagala, most of us, or sometimes we shift to Yaman, sometimes we go to Bilawal. Okay? Mm. So the composition is Jago Mohana Pyare. See, Bhairav is sung in the morning, and the composition says the mother Yashoda is trying to wake up child Krishna who is pretending to be sleeping. So it's very easy to wake up somebody who is genuinely sleeping. If you are pretending, the more you try to wake them up, the more they fall asleep. So then that word Jago, get up, in how many different ways you can sing it. So that's what we are going to try now. Jago Sadha Nidha Sa Mohan Jago Mohan. Now the mother is still very patient. Sa, sa, sa. Just one swara. The whole phrase is one swara. You are learned people, you know it. I don't have to explain. Jago Mohan Jago Dhani Dhasa Jago Gare Sa Ga ga re re sa jago sa re ga sa jago jago sa dha ga re sa. So we are still revolving around Dhaivat and Gandhar, nothing beyond. Jago Mohar Pyare Gagare Sa. So please watch the amount of time I am spending on Rishabh. Gagare, and also it's oscillating. Mohan Jago Jago Gare Gasa Jago Jago. So Panditji would do all these things in his Gaiki. He would sing Bhairav for 1 hour, just like that. Jago 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 Mohan. With utmost reluctance I am going to Madhyano. Sa re ga ma re re. Sa re re ga ga ma re re. Sa re ga ma. A little stern mother. Sa re ga ma. Requesting mother. Jago Mohan Pyare Savar Tuma Ye Jago Sama Saga Ga Ma Re Re Ga Ga Re Re Sa. प्यार सावरे तुम जागो. Normally you would expect me to go to Pancham from there. Mohan प्यार सावरे तुम जाओ. That was the birkha. सावरे तुम जागो. प्यार मोहन प्यार मोहन प्यार सावरे तुम जागो तुम जागो मोहन प्यार तुम सावरे जागो. In Hindustani style, we call that as gamaka, with the heavy use of voice. जागो मोहन प्यार जागो. ये मोहन मोहन प्यार तुम सावरे जागो. Yeah, this alap can go on and on, like Savai told. Don't go to the next note. Just keep using the same notes as much as you can. So from there, sorry about that. So after learning from his guru like this, he became a wonderful performer. He was married pretty early. His father found a good match for him. Then after a few years, Panditji found a good match for himself. And she was a wonderful artist, so they fell in love. So they married. So why I'm telling this has nothing to do with his music per se, but having to look after two families, and he was already there as a performer, Panditji takes a kind of sabbatical leave in between. He will accept only 1 or 2 concerts a month to earn only so much money to look after 2 families. And the rest of the day, he will go to Shemmangudi Mama's house and listen to his Mama Malgoda. Then he will go to MS Amma's house and listen to her Khara Priya. He will tour the whole country to listen to great masters and imbibe the nuances of their singing. So that's the kind of learning he did. So that's the reason why I said 2 families to look after, but he had the courage, willingness, and the vision to take a sabbatical leave and go and listen to great masters and assimilate all. He goes to Begum Akhtar's house and knows the nuances of Thumri Gaiki, like that. So that's how his learning became an eternal process and his music became very rich. So, student, the performer, the teacher, himself a teacher, how good a teacher he was. My Guru Pandit Madhavgudi lived with him for 27 long years under the true Gurukula system. So if we count the routine mundane education, like if you go to school up to 10th standard, 10th grade, 10 years, 2 years of PUC, 12 years, 3 years of degree, 15 years, 2 years of master's, 17 years. Another 4 years, you have a doctor against your name, you do a PhD. 21 years, you have a PhD in your pocket, and the rest of your life it stays against you. Against you, not with you. But imagine one disciple learning from one guru for 28 long years and still feeling incomplete about his learning. Madhavgudi would say, oh, Nagaraj, I cannot sing Komal Gandhar like him in Todi. That is very unique. So he was such a passionate teacher also. Madhavgudi lived with him. So these were the days when Bhimsen ji lived in a rented house in Pune. So Madhavgudi was to sleep in a place that passage would lead to the restroom. So one day he taught him Darbari Kannada up to 1 a.m. because it's a midnight melody. Up to 1 a.m. he taught him Darbari and then said, Madhu, okay, you can go and rest. So Madhavgudi went to sleep and Panditji started reading a book. He read few pages and suddenly the power went off. He said, okay, let me not wait, let me also go to sleep. Then, on the way to restroom, he finds something obstructing his feet. And he calls his wife, what is this? I am unable to diagnose this. What is happening here? So, that is Madhu, your disciple. My disciple, what has he come here for? To sleep or to learn? He said, no, you were teaching him Darbari just 40 minutes ago. No, he can't come and sleep like this. Get me a bucket of water. Cold water in December in Pune. He throws the water. And Madhu gets up totally confused. And a giant 6-footer Bhimsen Joshi in a khadi banian and a striped underwear. He is unable to comprehend who is there, what is happening. Why did you come here? Come to sleep or to learn? Come on, I will teach you Todi. So he will start teaching Todi. Madhavgudi remembered this incident with utmost gratitude. Nagaraj, I'll tell you, I never heard that kind of a Todi from my Guruji in the rest of my life. That kind of Todi he taught him. So that's the kind of teacher he was. Then when I approached Bhimsen Joshi to learn from him, he was also called as, Panditji's guru was called as Savai Gandharva. And Bhimsenji was also played upon the pun of the term Hawai Gandharva. He would always fly. Today he's in Chennai, tomorrow he's in Coimbatore, then he's in Bombay, then he's in Dubai, then he's in America. So he was called as Hawai Gandharva. This title was given by Phula Deshpande. Yeah. So he was so busy. So when I approached him, I met him for the first time in my father-in-law's house in Kolkata. One Mr. Raghavendra, who also used to write for Shruti. So Bhimsenji came and stayed there. I just pounced upon the opportunity. Guruji, I have been learning music for quite. I had done Sangeet Ratna course by the time, 6 years course. But my childhood dream was to learn from Bhimsenji. So I would like to learn from you. He said, okay, sing whatever you can sing, let me sing. So I immediately called upon a tablaist. I sang Rag Darbari Kannada for him. In Darbari, as you know, sa re ga ma pa da ni pa sa dha ni pa ma pa ga ma re sa. So Gandhar and Dhaivat and Nishad are Komal according to Hindustani terminology, and Gandhar and Dhaivat are oscillating. Since Bhimsenji is sitting right in front of me, all the swaras were oscillating. But somehow I gathered my courage and sang for about 20 minutes. with the same oscillation continuing. So then he asked me to stop. I stopped. Nagaraj, did you become nervous? Well, yes, Guruji, what else can happen when you are sitting in front of me? What else can you expect? Then he asked me, did it help your singing? That is the first lesson he gave me. When you are singing, you have to invoke only such qualities which will enhance the level of your singing, enhance the content of your performance. Don't invoke such things which will make you nervous and make you sing below par. No, don't do that. Doesn't matter who is sitting in front of you. Singing is a conversation between you and the raga. Singing is an intimate conversation between you and the raga. If somebody is listening to it, let them listen and enjoy. Do not be conscious of the fact that X, Y, Z, A, B, C. No. So that is the first lesson he gave me. Then he asked me to sing again. Come on, with this mental makeup, you sing again. I was reasonably better. I took those points into consideration and I was reasonably better. Then after that, after 6 months, I went to Pune and again submitted myself to him. I had completed my PhD. Guruji, I'm here to learn from you. My father-in-law said, I will sponsor you, go and learn from Guruji. Don't worry, I'll take care of my daughter and you. I'll pay you your monthly maintenance. Go and learn from him. Lucky to have such father-in-law. So, but he said, look, Nagaraj, as you can see, I'm here in Pune today, tomorrow I'm in Bombay, then I'm in America, etc., etc. So, I would rather guide you back to my Sishya Madhugudi, who learned from me for 28 years. He knows all the nuances of my music. So you better go and take the training from him, then come back to me for fine-tuning. He was so practical because he had categorized his disciples into 4 different divisions. One is a Tanpura disciple. He would go to Kolkata, he would plant 2 Tanpuras in Kolkata. So they will come and play Tanpura for him in the Kolkata concert. They are his Tanpura disciples. So other one is postcard disciple. Postcard disciple. They will send a birthday greeting to Panditji, sir, pranam to you. So if you had the time to reply, okay, all the best, thanks for the wishes, he will show that card. You see, Bhimsen has sent me a letter, I am his disciple. That is postcard disciple. Then the third category was the cassette disciple. Those were the days of cassettes. So they listen and imitate, but they don't know why they are singing like this. That's the problem. At a surface level, you probably sound like him, imitate some phrases or the compositions, but honestly, you don't know why you are doing that. So those are the cassette disciples. But the fourth and the genuine one was the Ganda Bandha, what they say is the traditional disciple like Madhu. See, he has learned from me for so many years. He knows all the traits, all the traits, all the secrets of my Gaiki. You go and learn from him. So that's how I went back to him, learned from him, then went back to Bhimsenji and surrendered myself, submitted myself, sang, he fine-tuned. So I am so grateful to him. But the other way around is like, he could have virtually spoilt my career. He said, okay, this boy speaks reasonably good English, okay, you stay with me, be my Tanpura disciple, do my secretarial job. Nothing of that. He was very concerned about every single soul who wanted to pursue music seriously. That's the background. So that's the teacher. Then, see, I rate all the musicians of yesteryears, right from the South Indian Shamangudi, M.S. Lal Gudi, just to take Patamar, MLV. They all lived, or coming back to Hindustani, Jashraj, Bhimsen, Gangubai, Mansoor, they all lived in an age, there was no cell phone, there was no email, there was no event manager, nothing. And there were not too many TV channels like this either. Nor these TV channels broadcast music, that's a different matter. Yeah. But how did their music reach the nook and corner of the country and the world? So I'll give you an example. Pandit Bhimsen ji, in his earlier days, he was a great devotee of Mantralaya Raghavendra Swamiji. And he was also very popular for his driving skills. Yeah, Bhimsen ji, he had all brands of cars. Though he was a ticketless traveler, when he went in search of Guru in a train, he ultimately ended up owning a Mercedes car too. So he was a fantastic driver. So imagine his reputation as a fantastic driver on the one side, but reasonably bad roads 60 years ago from Hubli to Mantralaya. The distance was roughly around 300 kilometers. So can anybody make a wild guess how much time he may have taken with the driving skills to reach Mantralaya? Just one or two wild guesses from youngsters. I won't ask the seniors. 2 hours, 300 kilometers, 60 years ago, bad roads and a decent car. Okay, that's a very, very wild guess. Okay, anybody else? 6 hours. Okay. One more guess, please. Maybe you have read my book. She confesses she has read my book. Yeah. So he took 1 week. He went with his full team, tabla, harmonium, tanpura, whole team went. They started from Chennai, they reached Sri Parambadur, then go to a landlord's house there. Sir, I am Bhimsen Joshi, a disciple of Savai Gandharva. I sing well. I don't say I am the only good singer, but I sing well. I have learned from Savai Gandharva. So please listen to our music today evening. However you want to support us, please do that. Then we'll continue the journey. One concert there. Next morning, another 20 kilometers, one more village. They will go into one more village and meet the village accountant. Sir, I am so-and-so, so-and-so. I sing, yesterday I sang evening ragas, today I will sing morning ragas. So like this, every nook and corner of the country he sang. Therefore, their music reached every home. Without putting a price tag on their music. Without putting a price tag. So that is how he reached several homes. Then all these qualities are required for anybody to succeed in life, whether you are a doctor, you are a software engineer, or a professor, whoever it is. Sincerity, perseverance, focus, vision. So come to, the quote is honesty. How honest he was. He had a concert in Kerala. He tuned all the instruments in the green room, had a tea, then he's about to go to the stage. One gentleman walks up to the green room and tells him, Sir, if you could kindly sing Rag Jog, which is close to Nata, today. He was in his mid-50s by the time, Bhimsen ji. A few Padma Bhushan, everything in his pocket. Please listen to me. I have not been trained very well in Rag Jog. So I don't want to give a hodgepodge presentation. I heard it many times. With my listening experience, I can still present it, but I don't want to do that. So sorry, I'll sing something else. Maybe next time if I'm invited here, and he said, no, I'm not putting an application for next year, and don't do that. No, that's not the intention. If and when I meet you again, you are in the concert, with little advance notice, I'll come prepared to sing that raga. That's what he said. And that's not the end of the incident. Incidentally, he was invited to the same Madras Music Academy like next year also. The same Rasika was there. Sir, last year you had asked me to sing Jog. I got the invitation 3 months before. I have gone to a younger Ustad. I learned from him, practiced well. I'm going to sing Rag Jog today. So these are the kind of people there. So this is about his honesty. Then crisis management. How would he handle a crisis? Panditji was on a tour of Dubai with his full team. Then the concert is about to start. very sophisticated recording equipment comes onto the stage. And Madhavgudi, my guru, noticed that, sir, some recording is done there. Just ask him what he's doing with that. So he called the organizer and, what is this? No, we're recording this. You did not tell me about this recording. You have only given me so much fee for the concert tour, 5 concerts. So how come you are going to record? No, sir, that clause is mentioned at the end of the contract. That's in smallest possible letters. Even an ophthalmologist cannot read it. So that's how it is. So then Madhavgudi and Bhimsen Joshi, they exchanged some looks. He said, okay, don't worry, I'll handle it. So he sang Rag Yaman, that Kalyani. Then he sang Abhang. Then he sang one Bhairavi Tumri. Beautiful concert, everybody clapped and happy and went back. Next day, the concert is in Naradagana Sabha. It's not in academy. He goes to Naradagana Sabha. Same Yaman, same Abhang, and same Bhairavi Tumri. The organizer came, sir, you sang all these 3 things yesterday also. So what? I have not written in my contract that I am going to sing everything, new composition every year. I felt like singing that, I am singing that. All the 5 concerts he sang the same thing. Well, if I was the organizer, I wouldn't show the audacity to cheat him like that, but I can sell all the 5 recordings, to be honest with you. Because each recording, each rendition would be different. But he was not that smart. So therefore, he had to get into such clandestine business. So that's about, so like this. So Panditji's, I don't know how much time, sir, how much time I have? Left with 40 minutes. Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Panditji was an inspiration to very many contemporary musicians and also younger musicians. Ustad Amir Khan would say, who was senior to Bhimsen ji, if you want to become a good performer, go and listen to Bhimsen's 25 concerts. Follow him. You will imbibe the nuances of how to perform, how to conduct yourself, how to present one after another, which item, which raga, which composition. All those nuances. One guru cannot necessarily or always teach you all those things. Every stage is important. Every event is important. Every rasika is important. Every rasika is different. Their demands are different. So you go and learn from him how to sing. So he inspired a lot of musicians and also inculcated a lot of local culture and literature into the music. For example, since he stayed in Maharashtra, though originally from Karnataka, he stayed in Maharashtra. He was the epitome of Maharashtrian devotional music. Like we heard a beautiful Abhang as the invocation. So once it so happened, Dr. Rajiv Taranath, a Sarod maestro from Karnataka, he was going from Bangalore to Delhi by train via Pune. So there was a 12-hour gap between 2 trains. So he said, okay, let me take a chance. If Panditji is at home, I'll go and meet him. So he comes out of the railway station and goes to a coin booth, for no cell phones those days, and found out that Bhimsenji was at home. Oh, they spoke in Kannada. Yeah, please come home, I am here. Have food with me, then you can catch the train in the evening. So he comes out and goes to the auto rickshaw driver and tells him, I have to go to Bhimsen Joshi's house, I'll tell you the address. The auto rickshaw driver said, Bhimsen Joshi means wo gata hai, wahi hai na? The person who sings? Yes. Sir, I know his house, don't worry, I'll take you there. So I am not saying that auto rickshaw driver should not or need not listen to music. He can, he should. That's where all these great musicians left an impact. And the episode does not end here. They come to Bhimsen Joshi's house, and Taranath very promptly looks at the auto meter and wants to pay him. the auto driver becomes very wild. Sir, what do you think? You are the richest man in this earth, on this earth. हमारा है भीमसेन जोशी का घर. He is my Bhimsen Joshi. He is the pride of my country, pride of my nation. I listen to his abhang every day. So, who brought you? I have brought him to his house. You did not bring me here. So, you want me to take money for this service? No, sorry. I'll take his blessings and go away. So, Rajiv Tarana told me, Nagaraj, I became very cheap and small in front of auto rickshaw driver by offering him the service charges, he said. So, the abhangs that Panditji popularized, I'll present one of them, then continue my talk. This is broadly based on Ahir Bhairav, but goes into a kind of Rag Malika string, like a bit of Bhairav, a bit of Jaunpuri, and all this stuff. Dev Vitthal Dev Puja Vitthal Tirtha Vitthal Tirtha Vitthal Kshetra Vitthal Dev Puja Vitthal Tirtha Vitthal Tirtha Vitthal Kshetra Vitthal Tirtha Vitthal Kshetra Vitthal Tirtha Vitthal Tirtha Vitthal Kshetra Vitthal Tirtha Vitthal Kshetra Vitthal Tirtha Vitthal Kshetra Vitthal Deva Vitthal Deva Puja Vitthal Deva Vitthal Deva Puja Vitthal Deva Vitthal Deva Puja Vitthal Tirtha Vitthal Kshetra Vitthal Tirtha Vitthal Kshetra Vitthal Tirtha Vitthal Kshetra Vitthal Mata Vitthal Pita Vitthal 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 Mata Pita Vitthal Mata Vitthal Pita Vitthal 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 Mata Vitthal Pita Vitthal Mata Vitthal विठ्ठल बंधू विठ्ठल गोत्र विठ्ठल बंधू विठ्ठल गोत्र विठ्ठल देव विठ्ठल देव विठ्ठल देव विठ्ठल देव पूजा विठ्ठल तीर्थ विठ्ठल क्षेत्र विठ्ठल तीर्थ विठ्ठल क्षेत्र विठ्ठल गुरु विठ्ठल गुरु विठ्ठल गुरुदेवता विठ्ठल गुरु विठ्ठल गुरुदेवता विठ्ठल गुरु विठ्ठल गुरुदेवता विठ्ठल गुरु विठ्ठल गुरुदेवता विठ्ठल निधान विठ्ठल 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 निधान विठ्ठल निरंतर विठ्ठल निधान विठ्ठल निरंतर विठ्ठल देव विठ्ठल देव पूजा विठ्ठल तीर्थ विठ्ठल क्षेत्र विठ्ठल तीर्थ विठ्ठल क्षेत्र विठ्ठल नामा म्हणे माझे विठ्ठल सापडला नामा म्हणे माझे 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 नामा म्हणे नामा म्हणे माझे नामा नामा म्हणे माझे नामा म्हणे माझे नामा म्हणे माझे विठ्ठल 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 सापडला नामा नामा म्हणे माझे विठ्ठल विठ्ठल नामा म्हणे माझे विठ्ठल सापडला नामा म्हणे माझे माझे नामा म्हणे माझे विठ्ठल सापडला म्हणून कडी काळा पाड नाही पाड नाही पाड नाही तीर्थ विठ्ठल क्षेत्र विठ्ठल तीर्थ विठ्ठल क्षेत्र विठ्ठल 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 तीर्थ विठ्ठल क्षेत्र 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 विठ्ठल तीर्थ विठ्ठल. And he was not just content being inspiring the youngsters or the contemporary musicians. He would also provide them a wonderful platform. He was a great organizer. That's another part of his personality. Yeah. Savai Gandharva Festival, which is almost more than 60 years old, now 64, I think. So he would call all the great musicians of that era and also provide stage for younger musicians at the same time. It would be a 5-day festival starting from 7 in the evening to 7 next morning. Around the clock, you can get to hear the different ragas of that particular time, different gharanas, different musicians, different instruments, so on and so forth. And over a phone call, anybody and everybody would adore the stage. They would come and perform for Bhimsenji. And he would not take them for granted either. He would do them utmost service. Some of musicians who are senior to me, they have explained that he would come and tune the tanpura for them in the green room. And make sure that they got the tea, everything is fine. Then go and sit in the front row. Extending further, his sincerity to the stage, as an organizer, to the artist, irrespective of their age, reputation. I'm sure you all have heard of Rajan Mishra and Sajan Mishra, the great names. We lost the elder brother. So Rajan and Sajan were invited to Savai Gandharva festival maybe 40 years ago when they were youngsters, upcoming youngsters. And Guruji would recruit very, very well-trained Tanpura players, his own disciples, 5, 6 of them. Because playing Tanpura is not a joke. That's why Purandaradasa said, Tamburi meetidava bhavabdi dhatidava. If you can play Tanpura for half an hour without going out of tune, you have done a great service to music. Then tuning Tanpura is too far ahead. For that you have to spend few years. So he would recruit very, very well-trained disciples to play Tanpura. And those were the days there was no electronic Tanpura either. So Rajan Sajan started singing. For some reason, it skipped the attention of Panditji Bhimsenji. And one of the Tanpura, appointed Tanpura players was missing. Somebody had come onto the stage. The concert started. After 10 minutes, one of the Tanpura got out of tune slightly. So they were getting distracted. They were looking like this. And Bhimsenji noticed it from the front row. He said, he goes onto the stage, takes that Tanpura, tunes it, and plays it himself till the next volunteer comes. This is told by Rajan Mishra himself. He was so caring. Because I can parallelly quote one more example here out of context, but how those days, the musicians of those days. I had a concert in All India Radio, Bangalore. It was a live concert, and all the senior musicians will know, if you are singing, nobody else can do anything there for you. You can at the most sit on the other side of the console. My Guruji, Panchakshari Mattigatti Guruji, was there in my house. He said, Nagaraj, okay, I will also go with you to the station. I wanted to avoid him. But he said, no, I will go with you. So he came. And once we go there, suddenly again the same case, one Tanpura player was missing. Then I told the program executive, sir, kindly cancel my contract. You can play some recorded music. My Guruji was listening to this conversation. Oh, what is happening here? No, sir, one Tanpura player is missing. So I said, for some reason, health reason, he's unable to come. Oh, hange no? In Kannada, he said. Is this true? I will play Tanpura for you. I will play Tanpura for you. Sir, what are you saying? He said, you see, music is a socio-cultural responsibility. Remember this, my boy. It's not all about Vadi, Samvadi and Jhaptal and Rupaktal. No, it's beyond all that. If you can do some service to music somewhere, do it. Whether that's your student or guru or anybody, do it. So that's what Bhimsenji also did. So great men think alike, you know that. So that's about him being an organizer. I have several more points. I just want to be reminded about my time available that is there. Another 15 minutes? 9:40. So I have to also throw the house open for some questions, should I? After 9:40. Okay, then a lot of things to say. So that's how Bhimsenji served the cause of music. And he would also pay them very well. Not just phone call, out of obligation they would come. No. Make sure that he paid them very well. And he would not take anything for granted. Then come to think of his varied interests. Like he sang Khayal, he sang Tumri, he sang Abhang, and he sang Kannada Dasar Padas also. He was the epitome of Dasavani. He structured one concert called Dasavani. He would sing for 4 hours, all Haridasa's compositions, with an expansive, detailed treatment of the lyric and the raga part of it, with the pakhavaj, tabla, manjira, and so on and so forth. Just one small demonstration of one Dasarpada for you. So this was immortalized by Panditji. Sada enna hrudayadalli vasa maadu Sri Hari. Yeah, my dear friend Unikrishnan knows that. Yeah. So this is a very fine confluence of Darbari and Shahana of Hindustani style. Sada ಹೃದಯದಲ್ಲಿ ವಾಸ ಮಾಡು ಶ್ರೀ ಹರಿ ಸದಾ ಹೃದಯದಲ್ಲಿ sada. Sada means always. Sada 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 enna hೃದಯದಲ್ಲಿ ವಾಸ ಮಾಡು ಶ್ರೀ ಹರಿ ಸದಾ ಎನ್ನ ಹೃದಯದಲ್ಲಿ ವಾಸ ಮಾಡು ಶ್ರೀ ಹರಿ ಸದಾ ಎನ್ನ ಹೃದಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಸದಾ ಎನ್ನ ಹೃದಯದಲ್ಲಿ ವಾಸ ಮಾಡು ಶ್ರೀ ಹರಿ 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 ಸದಾ ಸದಾ ಎನ್ನ ಹೃದಯದಲ್ಲಿ ವಾಸ ಮಾಡು ಶ್ರೀ ಹರಿ ಸದಾ ಎನ್ನ ಹೃದಯದಲ್ಲಿ ವಾಸ ಮಾಡು ಶ್ರೀ ಹರಿ ಸದಾ ಎನ್ನ ಹೃದಯದಲ್ಲಿ ವಾಸ ಮಾಡು ಶ್ರೀ ಹರಿ ನಾದಮೂರ್ತಿ ನಿನ್ನ ಪಾದ ನಾದಮೂರ್ತಿ ನಿನ್ನ ಪಾದ ನಾದಮೂರ್ತಿ ನಿನ್ನ ಪಾದ ಮೋ ಭಜಿಸುವೆನು ಸದಾ ಎನ್ನ ಹೃದಯದಲ್ಲಿ ವಾಸ ಮಾಡು ಶ್ರೀಹರಿ. ಜ್ಞಾನವೆಂಬೋ ನವರತ್ನದ ಜ್ಞಾನವೆಂಬೋ ನವರತ್ನದ ಮಂಟಪದ ಮಧ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಜ್ಞಾನವೆಂಬೋ ನವರತ್ನದ ಮಂಟಪದ ಮಧ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ವೇಣುಧರನ ಕುಳ್ಳಿರಿಸಿ ವೇಣುಧರನ ಕುಳ್ಳಿರಿಸಿ ಮೋದದಿಂದ ಭಜಿಸುವೆನೋ ಸದಾ ಎನ್ನ ಹೃದಯದಲ್ಲಿ ವಾಸ ಮಾಡು ಶ್ರೀಹರಿ ಸದಾ. ಭಕ್ತಿರಸವೆಂಬೋ ಮುತ್ತು ಮಾಣಿಕ್ಯದ ಹರಿವಾಣದಿ ಭಕ್ತಿರಸವೆಂಬೋ ಮುತ್ತು ಮಾಣಿಕ್ಯದ ಹರಿವಾಣದಿ ಮುಕ್ತನಾಗಬೇಕು ಎಂದು ಮುಕ್ತನಾಗಬೇಕು ಎಂದು ಮುತ್ತಿನಾರತಿ ಎತ್ತುವೇನೋ ಸದಾ ಎನ್ನ ಹೃದಯದಲ್ಲಿ ವಾಸ ಮಾಡೋ ಶ್ರೀಹರಿ ಸದಾ ಎನ್ನ ಹೃದಯದಲ್ಲಿ ವಾಸ ಮಾಡು ಶ್ರೀಹರಿ ಸದಾ ಎನ್ನ ಹೃದಯದಲ್ಲಿ. ನಿನ್ನ ನಾನು ಬಿಡುವನಲ್ಲ ಹರಿ ನಿನ್ನ ನಾನು ಬಿಡುವನಲ್ಲ ಎನ್ನ ನೀನು ಬಿಡಲು ಸಲ್ಲ ನಿನ್ನ ನಾನು ಬಿಡುವನಲ್ಲ. He's saying, I won't leave you, Hari, I am going to chase you. ನಿನ್ನ ನಾನು ಬಿಡುವನಲ್ಲ ಎನ್ನ ನೀನು ಬಿಡಲು ಸಲ್ಲ ಘನ್ನ ಮಹಿಮ ವಿಜಯ ವಿಠಲ ಘನ್ನ ಮಹಿಮ ವಿಜಯ ವಿಠಲ ಕೇಳು ನಿನ್ನ ಭಕುತರ ಸೊಲ್ಲ ಸದಾ ಎನ್ನ ಹೃದಯದಲ್ಲಿ ವಾಸ ಮಾಡು ಶ್ರೀಹರಿ ಸದಾ ಎನ್ನ ಹೃದಯದಲ್ಲಿ ವಾಸ ಮಾಡು ಶ್ರೀಹರಿ ಸದಾ ಎನ್ನ ಹೃದಯದಲ್ಲಿ ವಾಸ ಮಾಡು ಶ್ರೀಹರಿ ಸದಾ ವಾಸ So there was one thing that was posed against him. That is the repertoire of ragas. As I confessed in the beginning, he lived for 90 years and sang for 75 years. I have seen him in person. I have heard from his sources. I have heard from his daughter, Shubhada, that recording I have with me. If he would not get one particular phrase properly, He would make his daughter Shubhada sit in front and count it for 500 times. He will practice that. So 465th time it came properly, he said, okay, then I'll go to the next phrase. No exaggeration. I have this audio recording of Shubhada talking to me. So that kind of precision, perseverance he had, and the willpower he had to achieve. So then he lived for 75 years and probably sang roughly around 30 to 35 ragas for the whole life. So how do you take this? With his willpower, with his perseverance, even if he had conquered or tried to achieve some level of perfection, one raga per year, it should amount to 75 ragas. But it does not. He would sing, say, Miya Malhar, Darbari, Todi, Bhairav, Malkans, Shuddha Kalyan, that is Mohan Kalyani, Dvijavanti. So he believed, every time I reinvent myself in these ragas, I would like to be presenting something new to my listener every time. He said, there are so many what they call Aprupa ragas, Aprachalita ragas. In fact, I have been trained in a lot of Aprachalita ragas by Panchakshari Matrigati Guruji, who was a disciple of Mansoorji. So I have great reverence and I have made some effort to sing them, if not master them per se. But what happens, if you tend to sing Aprachalita ragas, the audience are more in a thinking mode than in an enjoying mode. It sounds like Mohana, but it's not Mohana. It sounds like Kalyani, but it's not Kalyani. So where is he going? What is happening? So he didn't want to leave his audience in a lurch. He wanted to deliver them something which they would instantly, immediately appreciate and also carry it home and find something new in that. He would not deliver the same old goods every time. That's one part. But it did not deter him from doing something new either. He did make some efforts. He tried to bring two ragas together, Rag Kalavati and Rageshri, Valachi and Rageshri, and made it as Kalashri. That's also the house, his name of his house also, Kalashri. So I'll just give a quick demonstration of Kalashri. Valachi with Gamara. Tinta, da, then, da. Sa ga pa dha ni sa ni dha pa ga pa ga ma re ni dha sa ga pa dha ni sa ni dha dha pa ga pa dha pa ga pa ga ma re ni dha sa. धन धन भाग सुहाग, धन धन भाग सुहाग, तेरो धन धन भाग सुहाग, तेरो धन धन भाग सुहाग. धन धन भाग सुहाग, तेरो धन धन भाग सुहाग, तेरो धन धन भाग सुहाग, तेरो तू पिया के मन भाए, तू पिया के मन भाए, धन धन भाग सुहाग, तेरो धन धन भाग सुहाग. धन भाग धन धन भाग सुहाग तेरो धन धन भाग सुहाग धन धन तान सेन धन धन तान सेन धन धन तान सेन प्रभु रिझाई तू ही सब मिल देख इच्छा धन धन भाग सुहाग तेरो धन धन भाग सुहाग तेरो तू पिया के मन भाग धन धन भाग सुहाग भाग सुहाग भाग सुहाग So that's a small glimpse of his new thought from the trodden path. So he also did a raga called Lalat Bhatiyar, a combination of Lalat and Bhatiyar. So he did experiment like that, but he would always, by and large, stick to the very popular ragas, where everybody in the hall, including the door opener to the mic man to the Rasika, everybody is comfortable listening to that. So I'm left with another 8 minutes. Yeah. So how he crossed all the barriers and touched the hearts of many, many. We took the example of the auto driver there. I met one Professor Sen Gupta in IISc Bangalore. When he was a student in Kolkata, originally from Kolkata, the young Sen Gupta and his brother. The mother had prepared wonderful dinner, but they were eating it in a great rush. They said, "Arey, आराम से खाओ बेटा, इतना जल्दी भी क्या है?" No, we are going for a music concert. Which concert? Who is the artist? No, artist is Bhimsen Joshi. What Bhimsen Joshi? I have not heard him. Maybe if you say so much, I will also go with you. Okay. They come to the concert, and his turn comes at about 2 a.m. in the morning. He sang an expansive Todi. Then he started singing Jo Bhaje Hari Ko Sada. When he uttered that word Hari, sustaining it on the Shadja, in the Ikara, the mother immediately held the hand of the son. Oh my God, he showed me the God right here. I am doing puja every day, but I could see Hari right here. So, that's one part. That's the impact of Jo Bhaje Hari Ko Sada. Then, what is this question we face, not only Panditji, even today we face, Lal Gudi ji, we have all traveled in London together. What is the contemporary relevance of this age-old music? We are living in an age where things are very instant and disposable. iPhone 17, 18, 19, 20, throw it, go to the next one. But we have been singing same Varali, Shubha Pantu Varali, Bhairavi, Todi, Hanuma Todi, Karhar Priya, Bhairav. So, how does it relate to the present day? So, Bhimsen Joshi, as I told you, was also a wonderful driver. He would drive from Pune to Kolkata for a concert with his full team. So, once he was driving with his full team, he finished the concert. Already 9:30, late in the evening. He finished the concert with his full team, Tanpura, everything. They are driving to the next place, which is a 10 hours drive from that place, and he has to sing at 11 in the morning, next morning. They go to a nearby petrol bunk to refuel the car. The gentleman in the petrol bunk recognizes Bhimsen ji. Sir, it's my pleasure you have come to my petrol bunk. I'm not giving it free of cost, don't worry. But I gather from your conversation that you are driving now. This national highway is very notorious for road robbers. Please don't do that. You are our national pride. Your security is utmost importance. I can provide you some basic amenities. And why don't you stay back here? Again, he said, socio-cultural responsibility. Morning 11 o'clock, I have to sing. People are waiting for me. My wife stops, you stop. No, I can't stop. I have to go. So they start driving. So as they crossed the city limits, they were virtually attacked by a set of road robbers with all kinds of weapons in their hands. They were asked to get out of the car. They got out of the car. But Panditji was Stita Prajna. He was fine. He was calm and quiet. And the leader of that gang, that thieves' gang, had little samskara to recognize the tambura. Oh, I see a tambura in this car. Who are you people? So one of the disciples said, we are poor musicians, man. Don't hit us, don't harm us, leave us. That's okay, but tell me who is the singer, who is the vocalist? And Bhimsen Joshi. Bhimsen Joshi. He falls at the feet of Panditji. Panditji, 40 years ago, you came to my school in Lucknow. You gave a 6-hour-long concert. You had sung one bhajan, Jo Bhaje Hari Ko Sada. That has left an indelible impact on my heart and soul. Ever since, I have been craving to listen to that song from you directly, not from recording. With all the money that I have accumulated over years by robbing, I can afford hosting a concert. But the moment I come to the city, I'm behind the bars. So please, I'll be grateful if you can sing that bhajan for me. ठीक है, चलो गाएंगे. So everybody is in tears. Then he says, instead of robbing them, so he offers everything that he had robbed for the whole day. There are two versions. Some people say he just left them, but some people say they did sing. So then he said, okay, load it into my car. He made him work for that. He says, sir, this is my today's collection. I don't know if it is less or more, but please accept it. Okay, I'll accept it. So he did not know the name of the raga, name of the tala, no grammar, nothing. One time listening could be a bhajan, could be a tillana, could be an expansive Shankarabharana, can leave such an impact on you, sir. Please listen to this divine art, support this divine art. With that very bhajan, I'm going to conclude quickly. जो भजे हरि को सदा सोही परम पद पावेगा जो भजे हरि को सदा सोही परम पद पावेगा जो भजे हरि को सदा जो भजे हरि को सदा सोही परम पद पावेगा सोही परम पद पावेगा देह के माला देह के माला तिलक और छाप नहीं किस काम के प्रेम भक्ति के बिना नहीं नाथ के मन भावेगा, सोही परम पद पावेगा, सोही परम पद पावेगा। दृढ़ भरोसा मन में करके जो जपे हरि नाम को, भरोसा मन में करके जो जपे हरि नाम को, कहता है ब्रह्मानंद ब्रह्मानंद, बीच समावेगा, सोही परम पद पावेगा, सोही परम पद पावेगा। जो भज हरि को सदा, सोही परम पद पावेगा, जो भज हरि को सदा।
Thank you, Panditji. That was one of the most elevating mornings we have experienced in these 15 days. Thank you very much. Thank you. Members of the experts committee. Dr. Rita Rajan.
Pranam, sir.
Pranam.
As Sri Ram sir said, so elevating. We were all in a very different world. I just remember, you were saying that Panditji would not sing joke,
Yeah.
because he was not
Trained.
well trained to sing that raga. So I remember a similar incident when my Guruji, the revered Ramnath Krishnan sir, he was offered a national program with Pandit Basavaraj Rajguru to sing Dvijavanti. That is, in those days, there were national programs wherein a South Indian musician and a North Indian musician would sing the same raga. So many ragas were tried in both the styles, Hindustani and Carnatic styles. And when my Guruji was offered this chance with Pandit Basavaraj Rajguru, they were also sing Dvijavanti. And my Guruji refused because he said, we South Indians we have not specialized Dvijavanti as the way the Hindustani musicians have done.
Yeah, but for
So-
Dikshitar's composition, if I'm
Yes,
right.
you have Dikshita's compositions,
Yeah.
then a few compositions, but still we have not mastered this raga as the Hindustani musicians. So let us choose some other raga.
Wonderful.
Then they chose Hamsadhvani. My master said this raga is supposed to have gone from south to North India, and they also sing it so beautifully well. When such programs are organized, both sides should give their best. So let us choose Hamsadhvani. So that's how it was. Then I wanted to ask, before the Devanama, you just sang the first lines of the Devanama without tala, and then you sang the Devanama.
Right.
Now you have corresponding Uga Bhogas for
Yes.
Devanamas.
Yes, yes.
Did Panditji sing even occasionally any Uga Bogas before singing the Devanama.
Yeah, he would sing Uga Bhogas. In fact, I have taken that leaf out of his book and gone a bit further. Uga Bhogas, they normally have 4 or 6 lines.
Yes.
So I have adopted them for Vilambit Khayal also in Hindustani music. Normally in Hindustani music, we sing the North Indian languages, Hindi, Urdu, Punjabi, Bhojpuri, etc., etc. Whereas I have adopted them for Vilambit Khayal also.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank you.
thank you.
Yes.
Thanks a lot.
Yes.
Any other Sangeeta Kalanidhi Trichur Ramachandran, sir?
Namaskaram to everybody. Many people won't know that I belong to Kirana Karana.
Oh, wonderful, sir. I'll seek your blessings.
Because it happened in 1984 when Bhimsen Joshi gave a program in Krishnagan Sabha. It was a wonderful program and I was inspired. I wanted to sing like him. It was a wonderful program. The hall was completely filled up with Nadam. And I was thinking how to approach Bhimsen ji. It is difficult when I was in Madras. So, M.S. Gopalakrishnan, Sangeeta Kalanidhi, M.S. Gopalakrishna's brother, Anantaraman sir told me, here is a great guru, Pandit Krishnanand ji. He is the direct disciple of, from the tradition of the Kirana Karana. I will take you to him. But I told him, the Hindustani music needs a lot of practice. And our system is different. Hindustani is different. How can I can't cope up? No, he told me, you can do it, you can do it. Then he arranged Krishnanaji. And I learned him from for about 5 to 6 years. But I didn't want to give public performance. I want to enjoy myself. And some of the popular kayas, tumris were taught to me. And the one raga I was impressed was Miyan Ki Malhar.
Miyaki Balhar. Beautiful.
Kareem naam tero, Kareem naam tero, Kareem naam tero, Kareem naam tero.
जय बात बहुत अच्छा
Then Panditji was very famous for Dasar Padas, Tumris.
yes
Piya ke milan ke ansa,
Saveri.
पिया से मिलन के आशा
क्या बात
He sings Jogiya. Jogiya.
that's right मायामाला जन्य
Yeah.
सारीमा पदसा सानी जब
I can't see. He was one of the greatest, and he was told he was very sick. So all the way I went to Pune and met Panditji. He was not well. He came out, and I gave him Guru Ayappan's prasadam. So he was very happy and blessed me. That is why I'm here now.
wonderful
Thank you for giving me the opportunity.
Thank you, Sangeeta Kalanidhi Trichur Ramachandran, sir. Unni, would you like to say anything? You're a rare bird in the Music Academy here in the mini hall. Your daughter learns from Panditji, right? Yeah. If there are no further questions or comments, I would like to pass on the mic to the Sangeeta Kalanidhi designates. Neveli Santana Gopalan, sir.
Pranams Panditji. Even when you started saying music starts when speech ends, but your music has already started even while you were telling that. It was so musical, an experience. Not only that, for us, anyone talking about the greatness of their guru is music on our ears, to our hearts. I have one question, Ji. I have been waiting to ask one great Nadopasaka like you this question. Is the timbre of your voice, divine timbre, when you align yourself in the upper satyam, that is like your inherited property from your Gurukul? Is it a God-given gift, or is it developed because of your association with your gurus, that timbre, which showed God to the mother of those Sen Gupta or whoever?
That's right.
What is that secret?
I would like to politely submit it's a confluence of both.
Okay.
A divine sanction, Guru Ashirvadam, and a little bit of effort from our side. And we focus more on the Mandir sadhana, especially in the morning hours. I'm sure everybody does it, but it has been an extensive training in Mandir sadhana. That's where you get the timbre of the voice.
Oh, it's a not only the gift, the gift passed on by God through you to all of us.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Sangeeta Kalanidhi designate Thiruvarur Bhaktavatsalam, sir.
Namaskaram, Panditji. Really wonderful presentation. I want one thing share with you. I used to play for 10 more concerts with Jugalbandi concert, your Guruji, Panditji.
Oh, kya baat.
With Balamurliji. Balamurli Krishna. Really wonderful. At that time, I had a very good experience from your Guruji. Thank you very much. I blessed from your Guruji. Thank you very much.
Since the percussion maestro is here, I would like to add a few lines about his perception, Bhimsenji's perception about the laya and the tala.
Yeah, he is very encouraging at that time. I used to play with the tabla. Tabla player, I forgot. I played, used to Zagirji, and then Kumar Bose, Anidota Chatterjee, all the tabla players. 10 more concerts we used to play in Calcutta, Pune, in Delhi.
Vicky Auditorium, you were there, and Matangi Marakatangi was the line that was, I can still remember
good experience.
It was in 1983 or 84. I have attended that performance in person.
Yeah, thank you. All the players are very nice, fantastic players with accompanying me. Thank you, Ji. Thank you very much.
Just to elaborate on those legends and their passion for laikari, what we call it as. Bhimsenji used to sing 2 compositions in Rag Todi, in Vilambit Ektal. Vilambit Ektal, then this is one bandish she used to sing in Todi. That would be the sum. There is one more composition in Todi, also in Vilambiti Ektal. Idaya but Barana Daya But So both the composition have a different lyric and a different mood, though the tada is the same and raga is the same. So he requested Nana Mule, the tabla artist. Yeah, I have his interview also in my book. So he requested Nana Mule to come home, or he would go, he volunteered to go to his house. I want a different kind of take-off for both these compositions. Though the tada is the same, that bharana, that feeling, I want it to be different. So they thought about their music so much. The raga is the same, tada is the same, but the approach is totally different. So that's how and why their music became so immortal. That's
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I now pass on the mic to Sangeeta Kalanidhi designates Lalgudi Shri G.J.R. Krishnan and Srimati Vijay Lakshmi.
Namaskarams to all the Vidwans, Vidushis, members of the experts committee, Vidwan Pandit Dr. Nagaraj Havaldar Jai. Totally, I'm speechless, as Panditji mentioned in the beginning. We saw a glimpse of Pandit Bhimsen Joshi, with whom I had the fortune to travel when I went to participate in the Festival of India held in UK in the 80s along with my guru. And such a down-to-earth person. He was a Nadopasaka, and it brought back so many memories. And before I further plunge into this topic, I just wanted to congratulate Dr. Rita Rajanji for having trained Supriya to sing the Abhang so beautifully. Yeah. Bhimsen ji has mentioned that the Guru finds the disciple, not otherwise. Even though he went in search of his Guru. So I also want to thank the Academy for this highly specialized and appropriate selection of this topic in the centenary year of Bhimsen ji. And it also helps us to learn a great deal, because to come and speak here, we have to do our homework. And I got to listen to many interviews by, for example, Aarti Ankleshwar ji, yes, and many others, and his own interview. So he has spoken very beautifully. He's totally against advertisement, and he says, sandalwood doesn't need any publicity. They will find. Yeah. Why should we publicize or advertise? We don't expect everybody to enjoy classical music. They should come on their own. That is the power of music, and we just saw the power of music, that which transcends the intellect. We forget the notes, we forget what is sung, and it takes you to the different level, as Sangeeta Kalanidhi designate Santana Gopalanji said. We can see God. We don't have to know what raga is sung, what composition is being sung. And also, I hear that the total breath control, damsas, you says?
Yeah, damsas.
Yes. For 2 avartans, 2 cycles, he could hold his breath, and he would not be struggling for breath. The first cycle, how powerful his voice was, it would end
with the same vigor.
Yes. It's a totally divine experience, and we are all very fortunate to have listened to his music, and his music will stay forever. That's undoubtedly the case. And one more thing, a part of the Guru comes to the Shishya, the devoted Shishya. That's what I feel. We have heard Tirtha Vittala sung in many concerts here also. That is also so beautiful, but this is extra special, I should say.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Touched, deeply honored.
And see, Nagaraj ji has imbibed all the qualities. I'm totally overawed by the Guru in Pandit Bhimsen ji, the musician, the performer in Bhimsen Joshi ji, and also the person that he has been. And he will definitely be an inspiration, not only his music, but the person also will be an eternal inspiration for all the practitioners, performers, and musicians. It was such a thought-provoking, at the same time very emotional presentation, very carefully structured. And I just want to end by saying that the Kalashri was so beautiful, we have never heard. I'm listening it for the first time. And as he sang Sada Namma Hridayadalli Vasamado, I'm sure that Bhimsen Joshi will be in our hearts forever.
Before I pass on the mic to Lalgudi Srimati Vijayalakshmi, I just wanted to say Pandit Nagaraj Rao Havaldar has written this book on Pandit Bhimsen Joshi. And our librarian Jagdish, whose idea it was to invite you today to give us this lecture demonstration.
I want to thank him too.
And Jagdish just sent me this book from the library saying it lacks your autograph in it.
Oh, okay.
So we have to get your autograph on it before we put it back into the library.
There are a few extra copies also. If you want, I'll pass it on to you.
And while you're doing it, I'll pass on the mic to Lalgudi Srimati Vijayalakshmi.
Namaskarams to Panditji. There's nothing much for me to say except that this has been a very humbling and inspiring session. We all listen to the great music, but we don't really know the personality behind the music, the towering personality. And when such sessions happen, we understand the personality and the noble values they have followed. To me, I felt they have followed 3 steps. One is first to surrender to the Swara Devatas. And then sadhana, persistence, the sadhana, which leads to siddhi. And once the siddhi is achieved, more surrender happens. So when this happens, definitely they are able to invoke the Swara Devatas when they close their eyes and start playing the Tanpura. The Swara Devatas just come at their beck and call.
Wonderful.
Which is why in a ragam like Kalashri, the Madhyam, it's so powerful. And I can hear the great legends' power in your voice when you rendered. I always feel that after such siddhi, whatever they create, they leave a part of their soul in that creation.
True.
In all the compositions or in all the ragas they have popularized. So when you sang the Jo Baje Hariko Sada or Sada Hridayadalli, that soul, we come face to face with that soul which is there in that composition. And rightly, as Sri Neyveli Santanagopalam sir pointed out, we are able to pass on that to the audience. The power we receive, and we are able to pass it on to the audience. We absolutely enjoyed your rendition and understood what goes into making such great music, and it's very humbling. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all for having been such a wonderful audience today. Tomorrow we meet again at 8 a.m. when we have one more presentation, which is just one LecDem for the day. We will be paying our centenary tribute to Vidwan Shri M.D. Ramanathan, and Vidwan Ramavarma will be presenting the lecture demonstration tomorrow. I look forward to seeing you all here. Have a great day ahead. Bye for now.